I know this is hard to believe, but this is the not mocking edition, and I'll try to be as generous and fair. And apparently, I'm getting some criticism not giving enough context. What is the context? Aaron Smith Levin is a really big, fat, ugly grifter, possibly speculatively taking tons of drugs, and just being a predatory fascist menace in Florida. I mean, what do we need here? I need to look at Aaron's grade school report on reading 1984 and how he identified with the enemy. I don't know. Anyway, so that's Aaronis. So what's the latest with Aaronisville? Well, apparently, and again, I will do short, brief historical narrative, and we'll get to the good stuff. Because I heard about this early on from Liz Gale, who gave all these weird esoteric hints. Something's happening, cyber stalking, guys, and but using her usual not real good Liz Gale logic. I'm like, what the hell did you just say, you babbling moron? But then Marilyn gave a few more clues and said, stalking cybers is happenings. And you're like, okay, what? I don't understand. So the basic gist is, and I'm going to try to be generous to all sides here, so we'll call this person JT. This can be Googled in 3 seconds, but I think I want to be fair and consistent. So I don't think JT wants their name out there, so we'll just say JT. So JT apparently, and again, emphasizing allegation here because they don't really bring good receipts, but that's just me. So allegedly, JT was arrested for cyber stalking in the United States of America, and Liz and Marilyn and Aaronis are celebrating because the hypocrisy. Yes, they have been exposed at last because JT has connections to a lot of Reddit groups, a lot of other anti-Aaron groups. Ergo cogito sum, as I like to mockingly say. Therefore, Aaron is the victim here, guys. And there we go. I mean, we're missing a lot here. And again, I realize this is not my other channel where I do get into more philosophical topics. But I guess the missing assumption here is realism, right? The realist conception of truth. Because someone could just mockingly throw back and say, so what? Who cares? Well, why should I care? And I guess Liz Gale, let's just use her, she'd say, there was an arrest! Cyber stalking, that's a fact! Them's facts! Well, no, we have physics, which has real facts, but then we have facts outside physics, which are not exactly entirely precise. So, I guess if you're going to be a realist of truth, you just say, well, it's just there. Oh my God, she got arrested, she's evil, she's guilty, Aaronis is good. That's just obvious. Oh my God, stop being a weirdo freak. The problem is the realist theory of truth is questionable. It has been questioned. Quite a few people have questioned it. Richard Rorty, Nietzsche, even technically Plato, if you read Plato carefully. He's not exactly committed to realism in that sense. And so on and so forth. So, yeah, that's gone under a lot of damage. And I have to admit, the criticisms are pretty sharp, whether Heideggerian, Derridian, deconstructionist, feminist. But just to note one interesting exception, and von Franzen actually founded an entire school, I'm not joking, of thought on this, and his twist is actually, when you think about it, if you're for science and scientific and pro-science, you're not with the realist conception of truth. That's actually not good science. So quite a few rooms in that house. But the basic gist here is we don't have to believe the realist theory of truth. So no, I mean, you say, okay, someone was arrested. Well, I don't know X. Was this person arrested? I don't know that for a fact. B, even if that were true, what does that mean? I find it also especially ironic, because now we're going to get back to Aaronis. Because Aaronis was charged with a felony not long ago. But you see, kids, he's apparently going to be really charged with battery. So why did they put felony on the cop sheet? I don't know. So you'd think Aaronis would be careful here, saying, now guys, the charge is cyber stalking, but maybe it's something else. You know, shocker, guys. The law, the courts, and the police lie to you. They don't always tell the whole truth. You can't just take legal documents and say, here is the capital T truth. That's not how it works. So we really don't know what is going on here. So at this moment, I'd have to just say, be skeptical, be cautious, and I really don't know what to think. I guess the punchline that Aaron is waiting for or expecting is like, people say I'm an evil stalker. Now we know who the real evil stalker is in the neighborhoods, okay? Right? You know what I'm saying, home guys? Home girl, home chillin', home fries? Right, but that's the pragmatic conception of truth. I mean, I find this amusing when the ex-Scientologists speak about anything. They have such radically weird, contradictory metaphysics. You're kind of like, I mean, I understand what they're trying to do is like, you just believe them when they're enunciating a certain sentence. You believe them up to the point of their rhetorical performance, but don't think about it afterwards. Like say, what did they just say? Don't think about it because it didn't mean anything. And yeah, this is just a bunch of babbling nonsense. So I guess the issue here is that Aaron feels very threatened by a 73-year-old woman. Right, so if this is JT and she is 73 years old, Aaron is really afraid that this old woman is going to... He's very afraid, guys. And she's definitely working for Scientology. How do we know she's working for Scientology? Because Aaron said it. Does he have any actual evidence? No. Well, isn't that kind of curious? Wait, so with her arrest, you're giving us a slip of paper, right? He's giving that much at least. Okay, so we should believe the slip of paper. Okay, well, what about her working for the OSA? Oh, no, guys, no, I really don't know. I can't say. She's working for OSA. Why, Aaron? Because that's the force of my logical deductions, and in my brain, I have mapped out the calculations, and so there's no evidence she's working for OSA. But he's putting in the title, she's a Scientology agent. I mean, like, listen, I get it. Aaron is a monster. But listen, if you're going to lie outright in the title of your video, certain people are going to be skeptical about what you're going to say in the actual video. And I'm still skeptical. So even if this were true, I don't care at all. But I'm just here to do the commentaries for you guys. I'm going to keep it very basic. If you want to be more advanced, become a channel member. We'll get into the more advanced metaphysics or hilarity and stupidity of this. Because, of course, the dilemma here is Aaron was also caught doing something very similar. But he did not get arrested and get a mugshot. He has been arrested recently and got a mugshot, but that's for a different thing. And this is a very recurrent pattern with him. So I guess what they're going for is that JT is worse. She is really evil stalker, cyber bully, but Aaron is moderate predator, moderate fascist, moderate bully. Therefore, he's good. No, that does not follow anything from what you said. Even if all of Aaron's statements were true, it does not show he's a good person. It doesn't even show we should care about this court case. Why should we care? Why? And also in the framework, it's just a complete lie saying, all I ever do on YouTube is expose Scientology. No, you're not. No, you're not. You covering JT is not exposing Scientology. It's not about Scientology. It has nothing to do with growing up in Scientology. It is you trying to get revenge on a female critic. That's what's going on. Right? Say, why would an old woman write all these blogs and terrorize poor Aaron? Well, Aaron, you've been terrorizing old women for years and years and years. Right? Well, maybe there's karma in the universe and an old woman is fighting back. It's not hard to understand here. It's not even hard to understand metaphysically. You keep terrorizing old women, maybe some of them are going to terrorize you. So even if we took Aaron's assumption as true of what he thinks is the problem, I'm being terrorized against. Oh, poor Aaron. Well, maybe you deserve it. So there you go. So even if what he's saying is true, you could be like, good. I'm on the side of the old woman. I don't like you. I hate you. So he didn't say anything. But still, there are questions to be asked here. Can you go too far in a good cause? Should there be any limits in terms of the anti-Aaron side? I mean, those are difficult, serious puzzles, but they're not ones that Aaron is going to deal with. He's going to duck the responsibility and challenge of him making all this money, taking all this power and abusing it because, he's Aaron. I would just say, if he honestly thinks this means anything, good on him, because it doesn't. I mean, there are many critics of Aaron. They don't have the similar profile. They have their own motivations. They have no connection to JT. I have no connection to JT. Never spoken with JT. No dark room where we all gather together. Shelton, Apostate, Alex, Doug was there. He's alive, guys. Mike Rinder, he faked his own death. And Claire, and she gave us big manila folders and say, here's your instructions. And she had a big cigar, a trench coat, totally naked underneath. I'm just... Anyway. Okay. So, Carmen Sandiego. I'm sorry. Aaron is, he's crying. He's crying about an old woman making fun of him. Okay. Right, right. So now it's growing up with paranoid, delusional, fanatical fascist, afraid of old women. And that's where we are now. That's what we have with the Church of Iran, is afraid of little old women. And there we go.